judging. Then calling on the ladies from the Americas, starting off with Miss Curacao.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Alexandra Atalita. I'm 25 years old. I have a bachelor's in media and entertainment management. Currently, I'm a social media manager at a lingerie company. And at the age of 18, I started my own modeling agency in Curacao to encourage ladies to be more confident about themselves. Also, I'm an advocate for the sea turtle conservation in Curacao, where I help with beach cleanups and help the sea turtles in Curacao.
Do you have any problem with poaching in your country when it comes to sea turtles, or are there parts being illegally transported to other places?
No, the biggest problem we are currently facing is the plastic pollution. We're a small island in the Caribbean, so we have a lot of plastic being washed up on our shores, and that's the biggest problem we're facing. Also, we're facing a lot of problems from fishermen. So the sea turtles, they swim and then accidentally get caught in the lines. Thank you.
Good afternoon. How would you describe Curacao to a foreigner to invite us to come to your country?
I would describe it as paradise. It has white sandy beaches, blue waters, blue crystal waters, nice music, food, everything. You can kind of compare it to the Philippines.
It's familiar.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
I would like to ask whether fishing communities or local communities have a role in marine protection.
Well, yes. So as an island, we do rely a lot on our fishermen because that is our source. Also, but I believe that the government has to do more because there's not really a protection saying like, oh, you're not allowed to fish here or there. We do have protections from coral reefs, but not on the fishes. So I really think that there should be more protection towards that. So, for example, for the sea turtles, like they're getting hurt a lot, and that's really painful to see. So I really believe they should have allocated locations where they can fish. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Curacao. Next up, please welcome Miss Honduras.
Good afternoon. My name is Diana Palma. I'm 21 years old and I'm coming from the heart of Central America, Honduras. I'm a teacher in primary school and I am about to obtain my degree in elementary school teaching English as a foreign language. And I decided that my advocacy should be something that I had to embrace, that I was very related with. So I decided that my advocacy was going to be the introduction of the environmental education in the schools. Because I'm pretty sure, I truly know that the biggest problem that we have in our planet is the lack of environmental awareness. And that is why my social project led by my advocacy was divided in two areas. One was the promoting of an educational campaign in Honduras in Guanaja, the Green Island, that is an ecotourist island, and the other one was collecting volunteers to clean in the beaches. And thanks God, we could clean about 20 kilometers of contaminated beaches.
Congratulations on the good job that you're doing.
Thank you very much.
All right. The next step, they say, to cleaning up beaches is to actually looking at the trash that you're collecting and see where these trash are coming from. Do you intend to do this?
Actually, yes. In my country, in Guanaja, I can say, I'm proud of saying that we have very educated people taking care of our resources. But the truth is that the maritime currents of the Gulf of Mexico and nearby countries are washing away the inorganic waste, plastic, and also the toxic waste. And they are just everything coming to our coasts and our beaches. And that is where we took with volunteers, the organization of Miss Earth Honduras, my family, my friends, where we were like doing like a really hand job, cleaning the beaches, yes, collecting every kind of trash that we found.
So, do you think it's very important to have partnerships, partnership between government, private sector, industry, non-government organizations,
Yes.
even countries?
Yes, of course. Actually, I'm very proud to say that the environmental department of my country is helping me economically to be here. And that's why I'm like with the most gratitude and love saying that my country is the greenest of all Central America, even though that I'm not ashamed to say that I come from a country where is a nation that is one of the poorest one of the world. Yes, of course, but I can proudly say that we have the most beautiful resources, natural resources and landscapes of all Central America. So I have not anything else to ask for my country, yes.
Thank you.
Just that? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Honduras.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Miss USA.
Mabuhay! Combining beauty and brains, I am Yash Be Aware, a trained climate reality leader, first generation an American, and clinical psychology doctoral candidate.
Are you feeling better now? Are you still sick?
I am feeling silly better, but my journey here at Miss Earth has pushed me to be a stronger woman than I've ever had to be before, and I am proud of the experiences I've had.
How long is the doctoral course of yours?
It's 3 years of study and 1 year of internship, and I actually put it all on hold so that I could be here with all of you in the Philippines because I am so passionate about our Mother Earth and promoting our advocacy, and I know that this is truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me.
Your country's position in a lot of environmental issues is very important in a global scenario. What can you say about your president's stand on very big global issues like climate change?
Although the federal government has taken a very different approach on environmental issues, I'm proud that so many local Americans like myself have mobilized in the fight against climate change. And that's one of the most important things we can do, and that's a lesson for countries all over this world. If your federal government is not doing what they are promising to do, then you need to step up and band together and fight for what is truly right in this world.
Good afternoon. What would you say would be needed to unite the American society today? There's a lot of divisiveness, right? For both the Democrats and the Republicans, and we have an election on the 8th, I understand. So after this election, what would you think, what comes to mind in your opinion, that could unite Americans?
Not only Americans, throughout this world, it's important to find common ground with the people you're speaking to, and that's something that Miss Earth is supposed to do as well. And something that unites us all is humanity. We are all humans, and we all have children and families. So we need to look into our hearts and do what's right. So often, big business is involved, money is involved, but we really need to go back to our roots and the kindness that humans are known for, and that is what separates us from other animals in the kingdom.
People are talking about the birthright citizenship being revoked by the government. Are you pro or against this?
I support the American dream. As an immigrant myself, I was not born in the US. I was born in India, and we moved when I was 3 years old. And I am living the American dream. So taking that opportunity away from someone, I think, is truly unfair.
As somebody getting trained in clinical psychology, do you think climate change. Of course, it affects other countries. And of course, if it's related to disasters, it's affecting people's psychological situation.
Yes, so I firmly believe in the US we do have a system for mental health care, but there are so many countries in this world that don't really provide access to that. And if you are living with a mental illness, you just cannot seek help for it, how will you want to care about recycling or living sustainably if your basic needs are not being met? So it might seem like there's no relationship between psychology and climate change, but there really truly is, because regardless of your race, socioeconomic status, or religion, climate change affects each and every one of us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss USA.
Maraming salamat.
Now let's meet Miss Panama.
Mabuhay, my name is Diana Lemos, I'm 20 years old, and I come from the bridge of the world, the heart of the universe, Panama. Today, I want to share with you my experience as Miss Air Panama 2018. I had the great opportunity to share all the experiences with my foundation, Talentos de Encanto, and also going to steps such as the United Nations to share what are the problems environmental in our world. We can proceed to your questions.
So, tell us more about the United Nations.
Okay, I went with the Ministry of Environment of my country. That was such an opportunity trip because I just met so many young people that are sharing the same problems, and it's so, something so cool because when we are all together in the same problem and we see that the only solution is that only we can solve the problems when all the countries are together, is something that is just great.
The United Nations is promoting the realization of the Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals. To your mind, what is the most important, although there are 17 of them?
I think one of the most important is to always take care of our water because that's why we live, okay? So that's it.
Thank you. Any more questions, judges? I think that would be all, Miss Panama. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Next up, let's meet Miss Argentina. She will be needing a translator. That will be Mr. Jorge Antonio Melgar Garcia.
Mabuhay! Hi everyone, I'm Dolores Cardoso, I'm 22 years old and I represent Argentina. I'm studying public relations and my advocacy is based on instilling in the society the great value of deforestation because the trees are the lungs of our planet. I answer your question with my translate because I'm learning English and I don't have a big vocabulary.
Why did you choose deforestation as your advocacy?
¿Por qué has escogido el tema de la deforestación?
He escogido este tema de la deforestación porque en mi país es un problema muy grande debido a la tala de árboles que provocan inundaciones.
I chose this topic because in my country this is a very big issue and there is a lot of trees being turned down and there's a lot of destruction there right now.
Y además porque es muy importante es muy importante plantar árboles y protegerlos para combatir el cambio climático.
This is very important for us to plant trees to protect the environment and avoid climate change.
What can you say about some companies that they're justifying cutting down trees because they'll say they'll plant more trees? Do you think this it's enough?
En realidad yo creo que no es suficiente porque falta educación ambiental y crear conciencia en la sociedad acerca de la importancia que tiene preservar nuestros árboles.
I don't think it's enough. I believe that we need to create more environment consciousness in the society to prevent climate change and to help the environment to become better and better.
You know, Argentina had a inflation rate of more than 25% in 2017. How did the people cope with such a high inflation?
Sí, Argentina en este momento está pasando por una situación difícil, pero con esperanza y con tiempo todo se puede revertir y juntos, unidos como sociedad, podemos salir adelante.
Argentina is facing a very hard time right now, but I believe together as a society we can revert any hardships and become better and better.
Good afternoon. In your opinion, is the Mercosur an effective regional organization of the three big Latin American economies or South American economies?
Yo creo que sí, que es importante estar todos unidos y ayudarnos los unos a los otros, por supuesto.
I believe so. I believe that it's very important that we work together and help each other in these issues.
Your advocacy is prevent deforestation. How are forests related to climate change action, addressing climate change issues?
Porque los árboles son los principales actores para poder luchar contra el cambio climático. Porque al promover tanto oxígeno, son los que absorben también y median la temperatura.
I believe that the trees are an important factor here, and they provide us with oxygen, first of all, and second, they hold the land together, and they also help us to manage the weather and the temperature in the environment.
Thank you so much. Salamat po.
Thank you very much, Ms. Argentina. Next up, please welcome Miss Peru. She'll be needing a translator, so please call back Mr. Jorge Antonio Melgar Garcia.
Hi, my name is Jessica Russo, 22 years old. My advocacy is respeto para nuestra madre tierra y lograr hacer cumplir las leyes.
My advocacy is to respect Mother Earth and to make the laws to be fulfilled and to do. Sorry, I'm very excited because she's from my country. To make the laws to be fulfilled in our countries, to respect it.
What are the important laws in our country in protecting the environment? And follow-up is why are they not respected?
Ya. Realmente todo país tiene un misterio estos ministerios del ambiente están totalmente debilitados, no tienen el respaldo del gobierno.
I believe that many of the countries have a Department of Environment, but sadly, many of the governments, of the federal government, the central governments, are not supporting these departments. So what they can do is very limited.
Tenemos leyes ya establecidas que se encargan del cuidado, la sanción a aquellas personas que no cumplan con estas. Y lo que estoy buscando a través de mi proyecto es lograr hacer valer estas leyes.
We have many laws, we have many rules, and there's many consequences for people that are not following what is being said about protecting the environment. So my advocacy is to try to make these laws being real, to become in a real practical way. That's my advocacy right now.
Se trata de inclusión, de poder trabajar de la mano con los gobernantes y el pueblo, poder lograr crear organizaciones guardianas y mantenernos cerca de la problemática, teniendo organizaciones guardianas que puedan hacer cumplir estas leyes, que formen a las personas.
The idea is that government and people should be working together to protect the environment and to help each other to accomplish our goals towards the next generations, and to help to create more organizations and to have more people having to keep all the community together and work on this.
Thank you, Ms. Peru. And thank you, Mr. Jorge. Oh, please stay with us, sir. The next delegate will be needing your... No, Ms. Peru, thank you. Next up, Ms. Costa Rica.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ariana Medrano. I'm 19 years old today. Today is my birthday.
Oh, birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday. Thank you. So I'm a law student and came from Costa Rica. It's an ecotourism country. So yes, thank you for being here with me. And you can... Oh, I'm going to answer in Spanish because my English is a little bit short, so thank you.
What made you decide to take law?
Esa es una pregunta bastante complicada. Sorry.
It's a complex question.
Yes. Mi mamá es abogada y ella es mi inspiración de vida.
My mother is a lawyer and she's my inspiration.
Not so complex.
No muy complicado.
Entonces, por eso decidí estudiar leyes.
That's why I choose to study law.
Porque ella es la que me inspiró.
Because she's my inspiration in life.
Good afternoon. You think you have enough laws in Costa Rica that would protect the environment? That's your parliament passed.
En Costa Rica somos un país que protegemos muchísimo lo que es el medio ambiente.
In Costa Rica we protect a lot of environment.
Y definitivamente tenemos muchas leyes para eso.
And we have a lot of law for that.
Pero si yo tuviera la oportunidad de crear una,
However, if I have the chance to create one,
crearía una para proteger lo que es los manglares de mi país, porque yo vengo de la costa pacífica y tenemos muchos manglares.
I will be thinking on creating a law to protect the manglers of my country, because I come from the Pacific area and I really need to, I feel that I need to protect the manglers.
Entonces, los manglares son una fuente de ingreso económico para gran cantidad de población en mi país.
Manglers are a huge resource of revenue for my country, for my people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What environmental activity did you enjoy most here in the Philippines?
¿Qué actividades de medio ambiente has disfrutado más?
Definitivamente una de mis favoritas fue cuando visitamos Isabela.
Well, my favorite was when we visited Isabela.
Y tuvimos la oportunidad de conocer la planta de energía hidroeléctrica.
And we visited the hydroelectric energy plant.
No puedo recordar el nombre en este momento, pero fue algo muy impresionante porque era enorme y además que nos llenamos de conocimiento.
I can't recall the name right now, but I was very impressed because it's huge and I learned a lot about it.
Time is up, Miss Costa Rica. Thank you very much. Next up, Miss Bolivia.
Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es Karen Quispenaba, soy Miss Bolivia Tierra 2018, tengo 20 años y bueno, mi proyecto social está basado en poder reciclar los residuos que desechamos para de esta manera obtener nuevos recursos, productos y así ayudar a nuestro medio ambiente.
My advocacy is to work on recycling and create new products to help our environment. You can start your questions.
Your advocacy is to create new items.
Sí, es poder reciclar los desechos que desechamos y obtener nuevos productos de diferentes maneras. Yo vengo trabajando junto con el medio ambiente, en tanto reciclando diferentes elementos como cartón, plástico y otros, etc.
Yes, actually we're supposed to be using different products and recycling it, producing new things. And I am being actually working on this. I'm using wood and plastic, paper, etc. to create new items to help to protect the environment.
What is the biggest environmental challenge being faced by Bolivians?
Y el mayor problema yo creo que es de economía. Si bien estamos en una buena situación, todavía existe las clases bajas, ¿no? Y yo creo que eso habría que poder establecer para que las personas podamos tener un buen estatus social.
Well, the biggest problem is poverty. I believe that we have to work towards educating people and helping people to raise up their economic level, their financial level, in order to help them to protect also the environment.
Some people are saying that if the problem is poverty, let's address poverty, poverty first and the environment later. How do you respond to this perspective?
Yo creo que los dos temas son muy importantes,
I believe
tanto
both of them are very
pobreza
important.
de las personas
Poverty
de escasos recursos
with people
como el
with
medio ambiente,
poor
pero
resources.
debemos ser muy conscientes
We have to be very
porque el medio
conscious
ambiente
because the environment
se trata de nosotros
is
mismos.
about ourselves.
¿Por qué digo esto?
Why I'm saying
Porque si
this?
nosotros tomamos conciencia de
Because if
nuestras
we are conscious
acciones,
about our actions,
podemos
we can
recuperar
recover the
el medio ambiente y de
environment
esta manera
and so
recuperarnos nosotros como seres
recover
humanos,
ourselves as human beings
que somos lo que necesitamos de él para
and
poder
what we
vivir.
need for the environment to survive and thrive.
Thank you very much, Miss Bolivia. Next up, we have Miss Dominican Republic.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Gabriela Franceschini. I represent the beautiful paradise in the Caribbean, Dominican Republic. I'm 26 years old. I'm advertising. I have a international certified the wedding and event planners. Okay, I just.
You can ask your questions.
Yo hace unos años.
Sorry.
Hace unos años.
A few years ago,
Tuve una experiencia
I
de
had
vida
experienced in my life
que me cambió.
that changed me.
Tuve un accidente.
I had an accident
Sí, en mi casa, una
in my
explosión.
house, an explosion in my house,
La cual cual me hizo valorar más la vida.
and make me value my life more.
Por eso cada día
That's why every day
trato de hacer cosas grandiosas.
try to do good things, amazing things.
What was that explosion about?
La estufa de mi casa,
The kitchen of my house,
cuando iba a preparar el
when I
desayuno,
was preparing breakfast,
el gas se
the
había
gas
regado en toda la
leaked
casa.
in the house.
Y cuando prendí la
And
estufa,
then when I turned it on,
explotó.
it exploded.
Y explotó todas las ventanas de la
And
casa.
all the windows of the house blew up.
Los bomberos
The firemen
fueron a apagar todo el fuego
going to turn off the fire
y me llevaron a la clínica,
and rescue me, being
en
to
la
the
cual
clinic,
duré 3 meses sin
and was
caminar
there 3 months without walking
y 1 año recuperando.
and 1 year recovering.
You said that you're an urban planner.
No.
No.
Organización de bodas y eventos.
She is a wedding planner.
A wedding
An
planner.
event planner.
Wedding and event planners. Wedding and event planners, yeah. I like so much. My career and university is advertising, but I like the most event and wedding planners. I planning bautizos, ¿cómo dice?
Baptismals, Christian.
Yeah, and birthdays and baby showers. I like so much. It's very fun for me. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting, really. Going back to your field of advertising, National Geographic, the magazine, came up with a cover that says "Planet or Plastic."
National Geographic, entonces la revista dice, tiene una portada que dice planeta o plástico.
What will you choose, planet or plastic?
¿Qué sugerías tú, planeta o plástico?
Obviamente que el planeta.
Obviously, planet.
Debemos de cuidar nuestro
We have to
planeta.
take care of our
Es
planet.
el único medio en el que tenemos para vivir.
It's the only one we have to survive.
Time is up. Thank you very much, Ms. Dominican Republic.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Next up is Miss Venezuela.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Diana Carolina Silva Francisco, and I'm from to the paradise with the name of woman, Venezuela. So I'm 20 years old. Yesterday was my birthday here in the Philippines. Yes, it's the first time that I celebrate my birthday on my home. It was a very special day for me. So I want to say thank you to all because yesterday was a very special day, and not only for that, also for the welcome that give us to the all girls that we are here. And my advocacy is respect, love, and protect the Mother Earth because this is our home. And now I want to use the translator to speak about my project. Mi proyecto
My project
es junto a la organización Miss Venezuela.
together with Miss Venezuela organization,
Convertir el 1 de marzo
transform the March the 1st
en Día Internacional de los Parques Nacionales.
in the International Day of the Local Parks,
Junto a la organización Miss Earth
together with Miss Earth organization
y mis 86 compañeras,
and 86 partners of friends here.
tratar de que lleven a las organizaciones gubernamentales de cada país
Try to bring each of the governmental organizations of each of their countries
que se convierta en el Día Internacional,
to help this to become an international day.
para que cada uno de nosotros seamos conscientes de la importancia que son para
So
nosotros.
each single person can become really conscious about why this is so important for us.
Los parques nacionales son importantes para
National
nosotros
parks are very important for human beings
porque la mayoría de nuestros suministros de agua
because the most important water supplies
están en los parques
are
nacionales
in the national parks
y también la protección de fauna.
and also the protection of the fauna and flora.
Y mientras nosotros estemos conscientes de esto,
And when we are being conscious about this,
vamos a tener un respaldo de nuestro bienestar.
we can have a support for our own benefits.
like your advocacy for national parks. Many national parks in many countries, including the Philippines, have indigenous communities around the area. What do you think is the role of indigenous people in national park protection?
I believe they look for the protection of national parks because they know they depend on it, and we all depend on it. And that's what I want everybody to understand. That people understand that when we know how important is the national parks, then we know that they have to protect it and preserve it for the future.
Thank you very much, Ms. Venezuela. Also, we would like to thank Mr. Jorge Antonio Mendoza Garcia for translating for our ladies from the Americas. We will pause a little bit, sir. Next up, we have Ms. Belize.
Hi, pleasant good evening to everyone. I'm the goddess Siren, which is the goddess of all aquatic species, especially our gentle giants of our waterways, such as the manatees. I come from one of the most beautiful and culturally diverse countries in Central America, and also we're the only English-speaking country in Central America. My name is Renee Martinez. Thank you for having me here, and I represent my beautiful country, Belize.
Good afternoon. How is Belize unique as a place to visit? What is there to see in Belize?
Okay, so we're a really small country. What people know most about us is we have the world's largest barrier reef on the northern and western hemisphere, as well as the blue hole, which can be seen from space. And along with our beautiful people, a lot of people like to go to Belize to interact with us. As I mentioned, we have over 10 ethnic groups, and we all live together in harmony.
Are there any endangered marine species in your country, and what have you been doing to help them?
So my advocacy is mainly to conserve and preserve the Antillean manatees. As most people know, Belize is a country that thrives on tourism. And lately, there's a lot of incidents whereby mariners don't see the gentle giants and they kill them by boat collision. And also, I know in Belize that we ban gill nets using because if you know, when you throw gill nets, it doesn't only catch fishes, but it catch everything else and it drowns the animals. So I support a manatee conservation group, which is led by Jamal Galvez, along with a lot of NGOs and governmental organizations, such as Belize Port Authority, Sea to Shore Alliance, and so much more.
Would you say there is good cooperation among the different stakeholders in protection of manatees, and what are the threats to this conservation effort?
The threat?
The threats.
Okay.
Dangers.
All right, to the conservation effort. Okay, well, we in Belize, especially the Port Authority, we have signs for no-wake zones and different things to prevent these animals from getting killed because they don't have any predators that kills them other than human activities. So our main threat would be our human activities because we try our best to not let them happen, but sometimes like it just happens because you know, manatees live mostly where there are low tides and they don't survive much in deep waters because they have a low metabolism, so they have to be in the shallow. And due to our water and its high and low tide, sometimes they kill them because they're low tide and they can't.
Time is up, Ms. Belize. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now it's time to meet Ms. Chile.
Paradise. So I think I have to introduce myself now. Well, my name is Antonia Figueroa, Antonia Cristal Figueroa. I'm 23 years old, and I'm in my 5th year of environmental engineering student. I have only 1 year to finish it, and I'm very proud to be representing my country, Chile. So
I just have to note that the last Miss Chile Earth was during my batch. All right. Being an environmental practitioner and you're a woman, how easy or difficult is it to advocate for the environment in your country?
well, for me, it's an issue being a woman and engineer. Mainly in Chile, are all men in that career. So it can be very hard to kind of change the mind of people about that women are as worth as men, just equals. So at the same time, fighting against the environmental problems is another issue. So I think I have taken it with my whole heart, like my flag, like my personal anthem, that I want to defend the environment, but at the same time I want to show the people that as a woman I have the power to do it. In Chile, it's just recently we have an environmental ministry, yeah, just 10 years ago it started, so it's very young regarding environmental technologies. So that's what I'm aiming to. As an engineer, I would like to improve my skills to get knowledge about it, to go outside. I learned German for 4 years already, and I want to improve my skills there so I can come back to my country as a empowered woman and apply those technologies that I'm going to learn there so I can help the environment as well.
The mining industry in Chile is one of the pillars of the economy. How do you reconcile, all this mining being done in Chile with environmental?
Well, that's a very good question because my university was the first one having environmental engineering in my country and as well mining engineering. So we are very connected in there, and I have learned that, well, in Chile it's a big issue regarding water. Water sources are very important for us, and mining industry uses a lot of it. So I think the main issue with them is that they don't use properly their resources, the water resources. And they could use different technologies, for example, to take water from the sea and take the salt out of it. It's very expensive, but at the same time, we get a lot of money because the main income of Chile is mining industry. So I think we should aim to change our technologies. So first, their sources of water mainly becomes from places that, for example, wastewater that also can be treated, and from seawater. So I guess mining industry it's our biggest income, but at the same time it can be very well improved because we have plenty of technologies to apply to it. So
Time is up, Miss Chile. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Very well said. Next up, we have Miss Colombia.
Mabuhay, magandang hapon. Ako si Valeria Josbosa, and I represent the beautiful, diversity, and now peaceful country, Colombia. I do emphasize in the peaceful because I'm proudly representing the peace generation in my country because we had war, armed conflict for 5 decades now, and it's just not only affect people but the environment. My advocacy is to fight against plastic pollution to preserve the life of all the species and especially marine ecosystems because I came from an island. Indeed, this island is an archipelago and it's confirmed by three main islands, San Andres, Providencia, and Santa Catalina, and they are also in a marine protected area. Thank you.
So peace is good for the environment. So that's what you can teach the world. And the Philippines is a country still with problems regarding peace. So this advocacy, is it something that you think is a contribution of Colombia?
Yes, I do think so, but I think we also have so much to learn because only this year we signed the peace agreement, and it has been good for, of course, for our country, but we are also have a lot to learn about the environmental culture because it's a culture, and I think it involves a good art. It's my favorite art, which is respect. You have to respect not only like another humans. You have to respect the environment so you can live in harmony, and to promote this respect. Culture in order to, for example, start a sustainable development so you can enjoy your natural resources without harming the nature or without harming another one.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Does the Catholic Church still play an important role in the national life of Colombia?
It is. We are a very traditional country. We respect a lot of religion, and I think it's a good thing because, as I said, my mainly art is respect, and I think we promote that in our country. And it's not only about Catholic religions; it's about all the religions that promote love, from love for the other and love for nature, because nature provides us lives. So it's a mainly, I think it's a good thing to promote not only religion but spirituality, to understand that everyone and everything is important. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Colombia. Next up, Miss Cuba.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Monica Aguilar. I am 19 years old, and I'm very proud to be representing Cuba after a 10-year absence on the Miss Earth stage. I am representing Cuba, as I said before. However, I live in the U.S., I live in Florida, and I have a dual citizenship. I am also a pre-med student, currently studying to become a dermatologist. And my advocacy is to encourage organic farming, although I don't really like to use the word advocacy. I prefer the term lifestyle, because if you treat it as a lifestyle, it becomes easier to project this onto everyone else and the rest of the world.
Good afternoon. As a dermatologist by profession,
Yes.
do you have anything against cosmetic surgery?
Well, actually, cosmetic surgery has been using a lot of plastics lately, and so this, it definitely adds to the 300 million tons of plastic waste that we release every single year. But in the US especially, there have been many dermatologists that are sort of breaking away from plastics, so I'm very proud about that.
What do they use instead of plastic?
Instead of plastics, I'm not quite sure because I don't really study dermatology just yet. I'm just in pre-med, but I'm excited to keep studying and find out.
Regarding your advocacy on organic agriculture, how can you convince people, especially those who are saying that going organic is expensive?
Well, actually, a lot of people say that going organic is expensive, but how the market works is in a supply and demand system. I'm sure you're familiar. The more we demand of a product, the easier it is to sort of have it, the easier the supply comes. So I think this is where education comes into play. The more we educate the youth on how important it is to become organic, the more we will begin to demand organic products, and eventually it'll be much cheaper to go organic.
Are there networks or support systems for promoting organic agriculture in various countries?
In various countries,
Yes.
or well, actually in Cuba and in the U.S., especially in Cuba, because I think Cuba lacks the technology to even have access to GMOs or pesticides that are very harmful to the soil, the water, and the air that we breathe. But especially in the U.S., there have been a lot of bulk food sort of supermarkets. One of them is called Whole Foods, and I think the U.S. and Cuba are both sort of leaders in the world when it comes to organic foods.
Thank you, Ms. Cuba. Now let's meet Miss Trinidad and Tobago.
afternoon and greetings to our distinguished panel of judges and specially invited guests. My name is Sophia Jeffrey. I am a 26-year-old physical therapist and I am also a holder of a Bachelor's of Science in Environmental and Natural Resource Management. I'm proudly representing the dynamic Twin Islands Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. My advocacy is entitled Recreate and Manage Waste, which actually represents the reduction of our carbon footprint through energy awareness, through education in schools, as well as managing waste. It's based on the three major issues that we currently have existing in our country, which are, one, the lack of education in high schools as well as primary schools regarding the mitigation and adaptation of climate change. It also is based on the platform of waste management. As a country that is a small island developing state, we're highly based on overconsumption, and as such, we're poor when it comes to waste management. Thank you.
What was your favorite environmental activity that you did here in the Philippines, and what did you wish that you could have done here?
For me, we visited the island of Isabela, and there we participated in three tree planting activities. Tree planting, obviously, it's a form of carbon sequestration and it's a form of carbon sinks. So therefore, it contributes to the reduction of carbon dioxide in the environment, which we automatically contribute to due to our various forms of emissions. However, for me, the highlight of my visit here in the Philippines would definitely have to be the feeding of a group of children that we would have given to. For me, children are indeed the future of tomorrow. Where there is an isolated group, where there is a community that is poor, it means that they are lacking education. And thus, they can't represent themselves. They are unable to make the change within themselves when it comes to environmental awareness, environmental preservation, and conservation. So for me, it really broke my heart when I saw them. And as such, I would definitely have to say that was definitely a highlight for me. Thank you.
Any more questions from the judges?
Do you think governments are prepared to apply environmental planning, all these carbon sequestration tools, put more expertise in really addressing environmental issues?
Do I think that the government of the Philippines or my country?
Any government.
Okay, I like to speak on my country. Given the fact that we're so highly based on oil and gas production, that is the basis of our economy. And as such, our country has realized that we are highly dependent on hydrocarbon production. And thus this makes us highly vulnerable to exogenous economic stress and strains. So as such, currently we're putting in place plans that will make us resistant to climate change or the effects of climate change. So therefore, we're focusing on mitigation as well as adaptation. So as I mentioned before, we're targeting schools. We're ensuring that education has a big part to play. We're targeting the communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Trinidad and Tobago. And now let's have Miss Ecuador. We would like to call on Mr. Jorge Antonio Melgar Garcia to translate for Miss Ecuador.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yanada Divieso. I am 20 years old and I represent the middle of the earth, Ecuador. I am athletic, animals, nature lover. After the earthquake that hit in my country 2 years ago, I joined the risk manager department in my university. My advocacy is Chimoras Inclusive Recycling. It's about working with recycling and create projects that include and teach vulnerable children and adults.
How would you define vulnerable children?
Yo defino a
I
todos niños
define
vulnerables,
vulnerable children,
aquellos que tengan
the ones who are
alguna discapacidad, ya sea sordos, ciegos,
deaf,
y
blind,
también defino a los niños que no tengan esa capacidad económica para poder realizar las actividades que ellos generalmente los
that
niños
we need
necesitan
to
realizar
have as a
durante
kids
todo su proceso de vida.
during the growing time.
Having been here to the Philippines for the past 1 month, I suppose, is there anything familiar that you see in the Philippines with Ecuador? Is there something that we share in common culturally?
Esa es una pregunta muy hermosa.
It's a beautiful question.
Desde que llegué
Since I arrived
a
here,
Filipinas me he sentido como
I
en
feel
casa.
like home.
En estos momentos
In these moments,
me siento como con
I feel like
una cantidad de sentimientos tan
a
lindos
lot
porque
of beautiful feelings
yo
because
encontré en
I
Filipinas una
found in
familia.
Philippines a family.
Yo pasé por momentos muy duros
I
antes de
have very
venir
hard,
a esta competencia,
difficult
pero
times to come to
al
this competition
estar con mis compañeras del grupo Agua,
with
a
my
estar con mis
water friends,
managers,
with my manager,
me hicieron sentir como en
and I
casa,
feel at home.
como que si Ecuador
That
estuviera
Ecuador
conmigo
were
en cada
here
actividad
with me
donde
in
yo
every
fuera.
activity that I
Entonces
was
yo de
going.
Filipinas me llevo como los más
I
grandes
will keep in
recuerdos
Philippines the best
que
memories
me ha podido dar este
that
certamen de belleza.
this beauty contest bring to me.
Sí.
Thank you.
Sorry, but I'm feeling the emotion. Other question?
Do you think your country is doing enough so that next time, if another earthquake happens, your country will be ready? You will be
¿Es
ready.
suficiente? Si hay otro terremoto más, ¿puede tu país estar listo?
El día que fue el terremoto,
The day that the
en
earthquake
mi
in
país,
my country,
yo me encontraba con mi
I was with
familia.
my family.
Fueron unos momentos muy duros y entonces me di cuenta que las personas nunca estamos preparadas, aunque digamos que vamos a estar preparadas para un acontecimiento tan grande. Pero yo creo que si ocurre otro terremoto, yo sí estaría preparada psicológicamente. El ver víctimas en las calles, el ver familias, millones que le faltan alimentación, me ha ayudado a recapacitar y ver que uno no debe pensar en uno mismo.
We have
Uno
to
debe
think
pensar
in
en cada
ourselves, but
persona.
we have to think in everybody else.
Time is up. Thank you very much, Miss Ecuador.
Thank you. Maraming salamat.
Now let's have Miss Paraguay.
Mabuhay. Soy Larisa Domínguez, tengo
My name
23
is Lisa
años
Domingos, I'm
y eso
23
que
years
lo
old,
cumplí aquí en
and I just
Filipinas.
reached my birthday here in
Estoy
Philippines.
estudiando el quinto año de la
I'm
carrera de
studying 5th year
medicina
of medicine.
y estoy abierta a sus preguntas.
I'm open to your questions.
Your environmental advocacy is?
Mi vocación es a moda sustentable, Ñemonde
It's
Fashion.
sustainable fashion.
Ñemonde Fashion, que es en guaraní, el idioma oficial de Paraguay,
Is Guarani is the official language of Paraguay.
que consiste en crear conciencia de la
To create
importancia
consciousness
de la reutilización
to recycle things.
y crear el concepto de
And
que
to
estar de
create the
moda
concept
no es
that
solamente
fashion
comprar,
is not only buying things,
sino crear y recrear de
but
lo que uno ya
create and
tiene.
recreate for what you have.
What environmental activity would you have wanted to do here that you didn't experience?
Yo creo que
I believe
Filipinas
that Philippines
me sorprendió.
surprised me.
Realmente no esperaba
I
tantas
really believe that
experiencias
you have too
bonitas
many beautiful
que
experiences
me
here.
dejó.
that
Y he
I was
aprendido bastante, he ganado
surprised.
tantas
I learned a
experiencias
lot,
y
I gained a
personalmente he
lot, and I
crecido.
grow a lot personally.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Would you say that the people of Paraguay are also very devout Catholic country, very devout Catholic people, rather?
Sí, Paraguay
Yes.
es una diversidad de
Paraguay
religiones,
is a
católica,
religions, Catholics,
evangélica,
evangelics, and many other religions, local religions too.
Do you think that can help in environmental advocacy?
todo está
because
rodado en Dios.
everything is
Dios es el
connected.
principal,
God is the principal,
que el principal que
is the main thing.
de todo esto,
The
es
everything.
el dueño de todo esto
It's
y
the owner
nosotros
of
debemos
everything,
cuidarlo
and we
y
have to
respetarlo
take care of this
todo el
and
momento,
respect it in every moment.
porque es un regalo de Dios.
Because it's a gift from God.
Gracias.
Thank you very much, Ms. Paraguay. Thank you very much, Mr. Jorge Antonio Garcia. I'm sorry, sir. My bad. We still need you. Because we have Miss Puerto Rico.
Hello, good evening. Well, my name is Cristal Samari. I have 18 years old, and I represent my beautiful country, Puerto Rico. Well, I'm in my first year of college, university, in the course of telecommunication. So, I raised by my father alone and my two sisters. So he always teach me about the love we have to do with Mother Earth, and he teach me one of my passion that is surfing. So that's why my advocacy is about. Sorry, I'm a little nervous because my first language is Spanish. It's my first time like speaking so much English. So I will try and do my best. So my advocacy is all about to making the first and only organization in Puerto Rico to educate and inform people about to take care of the environment, and with our little act can make great changes. So thank you so much. I think that we have to focus not only in the future, because the future is now. The future can be 1 hour before now, and the future is tomorrow. So we have to focus on that. Thank you.
Good afternoon. What do you think is the most urgent environmental concern that Puerto Rico has to address today?
Well, I think that Puerto Rico is not very informed of the environment. It's not the principal cause tell in Puerto Rico. So I think that if Puerto Rico inform people about the urgent that we have to make changes in our ways and our lifestyle, I think that we can make better, and we can make a better future. Thank you.
Something in common between the Philippines and Puerto Rico are storm-related disasters.
Oh,
so do you think Puerto Rico is not prepared to face these huge disasters, and perhaps you can help advocate for better preparation?
Actually, one of the next step about my advocacy is to, when we did have the Hurricane Maria, it was very hard. We stayed a lot of time without electricity and without water, and we learn how to improve ourselves and to use natural resources. And I think that we are a bigger country now, and every country that have moments like this are bigger and have more strength to support more things, and the family and the community. We are bigger. So I think that Philippines and Puerto Rican are very, very similar regardless of the strength.
Time is up, Miss Puerto Rico. Thank you very much. Now let's meet Miss Guatemala.
Mabuhay. Mi nombre es Lisa Hyatt.
My name is Lisa Hyatt.
Y soy una mujer apasionada
I'm a passionate woman
por ayudar a las
to
personas
help people
y a nuestra madre tierra.
and to Mother Earth.
Mi proyecto
My project
es el uso moderado
is the moderate use
de las energías eléctricas.
of electric energy.
A a través
through
de bicicletas recicladas.
Recycled bicycles.
How will you convince communities to use bicycles? I mean, we're not, unlike, for example, in Netherlands, it's common. But in other countries, they're very much comfortable with cars.
Lo que me fascina de mi
What I'm
proyecto
fascinated about my project
es que puedo ayudar a las
is that I
comunidades.
can help communities.
Las bicicletas
Bicycles
las utilizamos
we can use
para generar energía
to create energy
con agua potable.
with water.
Algo muy interesante
Something very interesting
es que también
is also
estamos enseñándole a los niños
we're teaching kids
a poder reciclar sus bicicletas
how to recycle their bicycles.
y poder utilizar
And so we can use it,
licuadoras
blenders,
y hacer licuados.
and make juices.
Con esto ayudamos
With that we help
a que los niños
the kids
puedan aprender
to learn,
a trabajar
to work,
y a enseñarle a los demás
and to teach others
a cuidar
to take care of
a nuestro medio ambiente.
environment.
Good afternoon. Would you say that we have a lot, modern society that is in your country, Guatemala, we have a lot to learn from the indigenous people about taking care of the environment?
En Guatemala
In Guatemala,
somos personas muy
we are
apasionadas
people very passionate,
y estamos interesadas
and we're very much interested
en ayudar a nuestro medio
in
ambiente.
help the environment.
Ya tenemos
We have already
bastantes reglas
a lot of rules
para cuidar el medio
to
ambiente.
take care of the environment.
Estamos evitando
We are trying
El-
to avoid
el uso de plásticos
the use of plastic
en varios municipios.
in many municipalities.
Las personas
People
están
are
interesadas
very interested
en poder dejar un futuro importante para las comunidades.
important for the communities.
Thank you, Ms. Guatemala. Please stay with us, Mr. Jorge, for Miss Mexico.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Flores, and I'm proudly represent my beautiful country, Mexico. I'm 20 years old, and also I'm a student of the career of psychology, and that's why my career is connected to my advocacy. I really think, and I really believe that one of the best things is about ourselves. So my career psychology is focused on changing the mindset of the people and promoting the education and the awareness, changing the mindset and trying to avoid the problems that we have of air pollution. That's my advocacy that I'm focused.
You have a new president now, right, in Mexico?
Yes.
Do you think he will agree to pay for the wall that Trump wants to build?
¿Piensas que deben pagarse por algo que está haciendo Trump? El nuevo que quiere ser Trump, tener que ir a Estados Unidos, si deben ustedes pagarlo.
Oh, well, it's something that is controversial. Yeah, it really is. But I really think that we as Mexican, we have to work together to try to that kind of problems don't affect us. We as Mexican, we can do more, and we don't need like other people because we are stronger. We are people that have an entrepreneurial spirit, so we can do many things for ourselves. So yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Would you say that there's so much similar aspects of Mexican culture that you see also in the Philippines in your visit? Like we're serving All Saints Day and we have All Souls Day, and you have Dia de los Muertos in Mexico.
Yes.
So outside of that, what are other things you've observed?
Well, many things. Well, it's so familiar. I have to say, like being here in the Philippines, I feel like I'm in my home. Because also with the culture, with the food, with the people, is so kind of friendly. Also in Mexico, and I really, really love to be here. And I have to say, if I can go to another country or another place, definitely will be here, Philippines.
Hello, good afternoon. You mentioned a while ago that one of your advocacies would be reducing air pollution. Would you mind sharing to us what have been your challenges in Mexico?
¿Qué dificultades tiene México para el tema de la disminución de la polución en el aire?
¿Qué dice?
¿Cuáles son los retos que tienes?
Oh, well, one of the biggest problems that we have in my country is the thing about pollution of the air. So me and the organization of Mr. Mexico, we're working and doing so many programs. So that's why we're going to Congress to talk with the people about these problems.
Time is up, Miss Mexico. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I need more time.
And thank you very much, Mr. Jorge Antonio Melgar Garcia, for translating for our ladies from the Americas this afternoon. Next up, we have Miss Haiti. And the translator is Miss Jiga Venenashon.
Hi everyone, my name is Valence Benjamin and I'm from Haiti. My advocacy is clean and healthy environment.
How would you define a clean and healthy environment?
La définition pour toi, pour un environnement propre et de bonne santé.
Premièrement, nous sommes le gardien de notre environnement.
First of all, we are the guardians of our own environment.
Donc, c'est à nous de prendre soin.
So it is our responsibility to take care of it.
Car nous sommes environ 7,5 milliards à partager.
Because we are about 7.7 million to share this.
La planète.
To share the planet.
Donc, comment on peut procéder?
How will we proceed?
En réduisant notre consommation.
In lowering our consumption.
Notre consommation de plastique.
Our consumption of plastic.
En utilisant le moins possible notre voiture.
In using less and less our transportation, our cars.
Car ça produit du CO2.
Because it produces CO2.
Right, you mentioned a while ago that your advocacy would be to maintain a healthy environment.
T'as mentionné tout à l'heure que ton plaidoyer c'est pour faire un environnement de bonne santé.
All right, and that we are the guardians of the earth.
Et nous sommes les gardiens.
So I'd like to ask you, what have you done personally in your country to maintain that healthy environment?
Donc je voudrais te demander personnellement ce que tu as fait pour faire celui-là.
Comme je viens de le dire tout à l'heure,
Comme as I have told you earlier,
ce plaidoyer commence par soi-même.
This advocacy starts with ourselves.
En changeant notre comportement.
In changing our behavior. So, toi-même, qu'est-ce que tu as fait comme exemple?
Comme exemple, je le dis en nettoyant mon environnement, là où je vis, en réduisant ma consommation de plastique,
in lowering her use of plastic,
et en marchant si je vais dans un endroit pas trop loin de chez moi, donc.
And to walk instead of take transportation that isn't too far from where I live.
Car je pense qu'on est tous de mauvais consommateurs.
We would like to connect everybody to be the correct consumer.
Time is up. Thank you so much, Ms. Haiti.
Thank you.
Please stay with us, Ms. Jiga Venenashon. Guadalupe's translator.
Hi, my name is Orlando. I'm 21 years old and I come from Guadeloupe. My advocacy is fighting against the deforestation because it causes a lot of damages, especially in my country, with the brown algae, sargassum. It's very toxic because the sargassum creates toxic gas and it's very, very malodorous and nocive for the population. Things that you don't know about me is when I was a baby, I was um,
Diagnosed.
a blood disease, and now I'm so lucky to be here and I'm lucky to show other people which are in the same situation that we can live our life as a normal person.
You mentioned a while ago that one of the problems in your country is deforestation.
Vous avez mentionné tout à l'heure qu'un des problèmes de chez vous, c'est la déforestation.
Yeah, in fact,
And you could correct me, as a result, you mentioned that there's formation of brown algae and thereby there's more production of toxic gases.
C'est à cause de ça qu'il y a encore beaucoup plus de algues, c'est pour ça que ça donne de gaz toxiques.
Yes, sorry. I'm sorry. The question there is, what has your government done to address this?
Qu'est-ce que fait votre gouvernement pour adresser ces problèmes?
In fact, the government have idea, but they didn't make nothing. So je fais partie d'une association.
I belong to an association
qui récolte les sargasmes
that collects all of these algae
avant leur dégradation.
Before they become old and poor.
Et qui crée le gaz.
Because when they get old and stay there, that's when they actually start emitting the gas.
What is the major industry that you have in Guadeloupe? I'm not as familiar.
Quelle est l'industrie que vous avez à Guadeloupe?
The economy of Guadeloupe is based on tourism at first, but also agriculture, because we are the first country who exports bananas in France and also sugar cane.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Guadalupe. Thank you also, Ms. Gibberson. And now let's meet Ms. Guyana.
Mabuhay everyone and good afternoon. I am Zamira Kipins. I'm 23 years old and I represent the land of many waters, Guyana. I love traveling, I love cooking, and I'm also very passionate about my environmental advocacy, which is about fighting waste pollution. And so I founded my own foundation, which is known as Rebuild, which stands for Recycle, Build, Upcycle, and Invest in Lives with Dreams.
Can you describe more the activities of, is that an organization or is it a project?
Both. I started it as my project and then I turned it into an organization.
Can you tell us
within
the activities?
We've been conducting a lot of school programs as well as more hands-on projects that would teach people how to recycle plastics as well as other materials that aren't biodegradable. And we've also been conducting several cleanup campaigns, and so the particles that we would collect from the campaigns are actually being used as a part of the construction for community centers around Guyana. So we're not just contributing to the environment, but we're also giving back to the communities as well.
Hello, Guyana.
Hello.
So what is the most pressing environmental problem that you are facing now in your country?
Well, the most pressing environmental problem will definitely be waste pollution, which is why I chose that as a part of my advocacy. It's clear all around Guyana, not just on the roads, but along our beaches and the gutters that's causing flooding whenever we have heavy rains. So it's definitely the biggest problem for us.
Therefore, how do you think will your foundation help in reducing that? So you mentioned that you actually have school programs to address that. So aside from that, what else can be done to help in reducing it?
Well, it's all about spreading awareness as well, because I honestly believe that people can only care as far as they know. So we're placing a big emphasis on spreading as much awareness. I'm fully endorsed by the different ministries in my country, the Ministry of Natural Resources, as well as the Ministry of Social Cohesion and the Ministry of Tourism. So we have a lot planned in terms of the awareness aspect of things, so that's the first thing that we want to do.
Last one for me. What is your most favorite experience here in Miss Earth?
Oh, there's a lot. I think we did a lot of traveling, and I think each place that we visited definitely left a lasting impression, each a special one. So for me, it would be visiting the city of Bislig. So yeah, we did a lot of tree planting there. We also visited where they have the animals, so they take care of them. And I admire the most the emphasis that they place on safe and smart agricultural practices. So it would definitely be some things I would be able to take back to my country because we're big on that as well.
Thank you, Ms. Guyana. Up next, Miss Bahamas.
Bahamas, maybe you could start by introducing yourself.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Samia McLean. I'm 18 years old and I'm proudly representing my country, the Bahamas. I'm a visual artist and painter as well as a photographer.
Good afternoon. You're a visual painter and a photographer. You've had exhibits in your country or overseas?
I haven't had any solo shows, but I have participated in shows and won awards.
Well, which awards would this be, if I may ask?
When I was in high school, because I just graduated in 2017, I won 3rd place in the Central Bank High School Art Competition for my photography.
Since you mentioned that you're a visual artist, how do you think can this be helpful in spreading awareness to helping our environment?
I think that art can be very influential in spreading awareness about the environment because it's really subjective. Everyone sees something differently. It's not aggressive and it can come across universally because there's no language involved. Anyone can see art and interpret what they like from it.
Tourism is the primary economic activity, I guess, in Bahamas, right? How do all these, so you have a lot of tourists. How do these tourist arrivals affect your environmental upkeep? You know?
Actually, the current tourism model that we have, it taxes the environment a lot. We mostly rely on cruise ship tourism, so there's a lot of solid waste that is left in our oceans and on the streets. I would say that it basically burdens our landfills a lot because we don't have any place to really put the waste. We're an archipelago, so we don't have a lot of land space, and there's also a problem at the landfills with spontaneous combustion of that waste that pollutes the air and burdens a lot of the residents.
So what would be your recommendation in addressing this problem of waste management?
Well, I think in prevention is better than cure. So in order to avoid this problem, we have to change the culture that we have. The current culture is really big investments, mega resorts, and I think we need to turn to a more sustainable, I guess, tourism approach. Recently, Disney Cruise Lines bought about 700 acres of one island in my country, and there were a lot of environmentalists that protested against it, and unfortunately the government sided with it. In the Bahamas, there are many other cruise ship ports and terminals, and we see the same thing where the locals don't really benefit. All the money leaves the country. Actually, our government pays tourists. Well, up until about last month, they were paying cruise lines to come to the country And I think that we now have to think more long-term rather than short-term. Yes, it's good to have a, I guess, development that employs Bahamians in a few years, but in the long term about the coral reefs, which is my managing coral reefs, which is my advocacy, and our natural resources.
Time is up. Thank you very much, Ms. Bahamas.
Thank you.
Now please welcome Ms. Brazil. With her translator, Ms. Priscilla Mireles, Ms. Earth, 2004.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Renata Veras. I'm 25 years old, and I'm representing my country, Brazil. I'm a business administration student, and I'm now working on my own resortwear brand, which is sustainable and within this low fashion concept. All my fabrics and packages are recyclable, and we also create awareness on our customers and clients for them to respect the Mother Earth and respect the natural time of nature. Thank you, and you can ask me any questions.
You mentioned that you
Go ahead.
you mentioned that you own a resort wear brand,
Yeah.
which wherein the materials are mainly recyclable. So how do you keep that balance between commercialism and actually making sustainable efforts and making sure that we also protect our environment?
Ok, I'm going to speak in português, ok? Sorry. Então, todos os nossos tecidos são usados de fábricas e lojas que, ao invés de jogar fora, a gente usa esses tecidos para fazer as nossas peças.
So all our materials are actually recyclable because we use the materials, the fabrics that are supposed to be disposed by big manufacturers. And instead of disposing those materials, we actually come out with fashion out of it with our fashion line.
E as embalagens também são de materiais reciclados, como embalagens de leite ou garrafas de vidro. E aí a gente faz souvenirs, kind of. E aí eles, além deles receberem o produto que eles estão comprando, eles também têm uma embalagem como se fosse uma embalagem quentinha de souvenirs.
We also use some other recycled materials for the packaging. So we use some milk boxes and glass and plastic, you know, to make it very environmental friendly, so that it also create awareness of, you know, the customers that they're really supporting the cause. And we make sure that we make it very cute, so that, you know, they get excited about the idea and the fashion as well.
They are all customized.
And they're all our product line is customized.
You recently elected a new president, Bolsonaro, right?
Yes.
Who, I guess, waged his campaign was really behind big agri-corporations to put Brazil back on economic track. So he favors business really over diversity. As an environmentalist, how would you guard against that?
Ele não era meu presidente.
He was actually not my president.
Mas eu acredito que os brasileiros escolheram ele esperando uma mudança.
But I believe that we Brazilians choose him hoping for a change.
E com relação ao meio ambiente,
and when it comes to the environment,
nós temos também o Ministério do Meio Ambiente que é contra essas ideias dele.
We also have the environment minister that also against actually his ideas.
Thank you, Ms. Brazil. Time is up. Thank you very much, Ms. Priscilla Mireles, for joining us this afternoon. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our ladies from the Americas. And now it's time to meet the ladies from Africa, starting off with Miss Cameroon.
My name is Audrey Nabila Monkam. I'm 23 years old. I represent Cameroon from Miss Earth this year. I love singing, I love joking, I love adventure, I love seeing people happy. My advocacy is on water pollution to go green by living a healthy and eco-friendly life. And I've been able to work with the Tico Council, that's the town in my country, to help the environment. And I've been able to work with a consulting firm too, which have not been able to continue for 5 months now because we have war in our country. The French and English regions are fighting. Thank you.
You mentioned the conflict in your country. How is the situation now? Could you update the panel on current conditions happening in Cameroon?
Well, right.
Excuse me. Emotional.
Right now, people are really dying because they don't want the president who just won again he just won another year. So people are fighting and you cannot feel safe because you don't know where a stray bullet might come from. The armies are shooting back at the civilians who are trying to get an audience from the president, and he cannot give it. But I stand for peace, and I hope that if he can address the problem, it will be better, even if it means for him to come down and talk to the people, because I think communication is the best key to get to know your people more, and that's more important, and it gets to affect the environment, and people cannot eat, people cannot travel. They burnt a bus while I was coming here because it was transporting food to the southwest region, and kids were on the floor, not eating for days, bus burnt, and so it's really bad.
Thank you so much, Cameron. I'm sorry to hear that. I can only imagine how you feel right now. So I'd like to ask you though, Audrey, as a beauty queen, how do you think you can use that voice to use your stature to make your voice heard, to address issues like that?
And that is why my first part in my advocacy is to create an awareness about our environment, because with seminars we can get to communicate. I think using this opportunity to talk to people one-on-one, maybe, just maybe he can see from up there that we need to talk to people to get to know how they feel, because he is not governing the country, he is governing the people, and the people are the country, not the infrastructures there.
Do you think the ability to listen to people is also related to listening to the planet and the earth? So maybe more of the situation on the environment in Cameroon.
Yes, exactly, because when you get to listen to people, you get to get their ideas about how they feel about the environment. And I always say change begins with your environment, but we are our environment. Our environment, before the planet itself, we are the one, and ignorance has been the key or the core of why most people don't know they are harming themselves.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cameron. Your time is up.
Thank you so much.
Next up is Egypt. Her translator is Mr. Rami Saleh.
Hello, my name is Lamia Omar. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Egypt. I'm working as a flight attendant. I'm graduation from Faculty of Law.
Hello, Egypt. Would you mind sharing to us your environmental advocacy?
My advocacy to raise awareness about pollution, and people should be educated as much as they can.
اتفضل. She's saying that she has a lot of waste in her country that she's planning to get rid of with a lot of methods that she's thinking of.
You mentioned that pollution is one of the most pressing problems in your country, but what type of pollution is it?
We have pollution air, yeah, the first, and the pollution in the River Nile. We should to remove it, and
it's more of an air pollution that is happening in Egypt, and plus the waste on the river of Nile that is happening, and she's always supporting those kind of ideas to get rid of the waste, especially the air pollution is getting very, very bad in Egypt.
Yeah, we can't breathe from that. Yeah, it's not good for us.
Yeah, it gets a lot of disease and sickness to children and young people.
Since you mentioned it's air pollution, what do you think is the cause of this? I know that because I've made a research in Egypt, and majority of the aside from environmental problems, is you also have traffic problems. I'm not sure if that is somehow related to the contribution of the pollution, air pollution in Egypt.
عم بحكي لك انه كمان برضه المشاكل اللي تشهدها مصر، يعني زي التلوث، غير التلوث في عندك الازمات، ازمات الطرق والمرور، كيف انه هدول العوامل بيأثروا على زياده التلوث من خلال ازدحام المروري وتلوث الهواء.
ازدحام المرور والتلوث ده اصلا اساسه انه بيطلع دخان، فالدخان ده اوريدي بيضرنا، الدخان ده اوريدي بيضر الاطفال وبيضر امراض لينا، فده اهم حاجه وده سبب رئيسي في زياده امراض لناس كتيره، ما نقدرش ان احنا نتنفس. بالنسبه للاطفال ما بيقدروش يتنفسوا، فسنويا بيجي اكتر من 1.5 مليون اطفال بيموتوا سنويا بسبب
Miss Egypt saying is that air pollution is one of the main pollution in Egypt that is happening right now. They say plus the traffic that is happening, but it still doesn't give much factor to the air pollution that is much happening now.
Time is up. Thank you so much, Miss Egypt. Thank you to the translator, Mr. Rami Saleh. Next up, Miss Ghana.
Hi Ghana, would you mind introducing yourself to the panel? Thank you.
Hello everyone, Mabuhay. My name is Belvi Nate de Ofori. I'm a communicator from Ghana, and I am a regional representative of the National Disaster Management Organization in my country. And today is my birthday. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, there are two of you that have birthdays today?
Yes, Miss Costa Rica.
Yes.
So you mentioned that you're a representative of the National Disaster Risk Reduction.
Yes, please.
What do you do as a representative?
Okay, so I would start off with, in 2015, on June 3rd, we experienced a disaster in Ghana, in Greater Accra region, where a lot of people died, and it cost the government approximately $55 million just to fix the damages. And we have become more aware of the fact that our daily interventions and activities are causing these disasters, causing us to die and making us lose a lot as a country. So the National Disaster Management Organization is just there to curb the effects of these disasters and also to sensitize people so that they know what to do in environmentally friendly way so that they do not damage our environment. I, as an advocate, go to grassroots areas in different places in the Greater Accra region because I'm a regional representative to educate people about their irresponsible actions and what effects they have on our environment. Thank you.
What was this disaster in particular? Was it a typhoon, a hurricane?
It was a flood. It was a flood followed by a gas explosion in the Greater Accra region, and it was very terrible.
Is this private or government?
Pardon?
The organization that you mentioned.
It's a governmental body
It's a government.
at the regional level. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hello Ghana.
Hi.
I'm sure you have a roommate. Okay?
Yes, I do.
I really don't mind. Who's your roommate?
My roommate currently, I've been in the room with different people at different times, but my current roommates are Japan and Guam.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you've been having conversations. What aspect of the culture of whoever your roommate is you've learned from, and what do you think and how would you share that to the world?
Okay, so particularly from Miss Japan, she tells me that in her country, respect is very, very important. Even before they have meals, you have to respect the other person sitting next to you and pray together. And for a country where there's so much respect, I think that we need respect, especially for this advocacy, because we need to respect ourselves, diversity, and our environment so that we can protect it. If you do not respect the environment, you can never protect it. So I think that's a trait that I want to share with my other ladies and also in my country. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ghana.
Thank you so much.
Now it's time to meet Miss Liberia.
Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Joyce Tifode. I'm Miss Earth Liberia 2018. I love singing. I'm an aspiring fashion designer and I love modeling. My advocacy is to raise awareness on climate change. I have this soft side to me. I hate to see people in our environment suffer because of our ignorance. That is why my advocacy is for us to cut the excess of carbon emissions to reduce the impact of global warming. Thank you.
Hello, Liberia. Hi, you mentioned that you'd like to raise awareness on climate change, but there are governments who are actually ignoring the science behind climate change. How would you convince those governments who do not believe that climate change is happening?
Well, I think that climate change is a serious issue right now and we have to take it seriously. I believe that we have to choose the right leaders because they will make the right decisions. So if we, the citizens, if we don't choose the right leaders, then it's going to be bad for us. And also we have so much power ourselves. We can also try to implement those things that will help the environment.
So you are talking here about citizen education, maybe even as voters. How hard it is it to integrate environmental issues in voters' education or in citizen education?
Well, I think most people are ignorant now. They prefer comfort over their safety. And I think it's very difficult to help to convince them. But I think one of the means to do that is through social media because many people right now take social media seriously. We can try to make more awareness.
More questions for Ms. Ghana? Judges? Sorry, Liberia.
You mentioned social media, but there is also the observation that there is fake news.
Yeah.
So how do you address fake news and science over fake news?
Oh, we have to be educated. As long as we are educated, we will know what to do and what not to do. Yeah. Thank you.
I think that's it for Miss Liberia. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Now it's time to meet Miss Mauritius.
Hello everyone, my name is Kirti Sajiwan. I'm 26 years old and I'm representing Mauritius. I studied human resource management at the Curtin University and I'm currently working as a customer service assistant in a telecommunication organization. My advocacy is to fight for plastics in every possible way for the preservation of our Mother Earth. Thank you.
Hello, Mauritius. Personally, what have you done or steps have you taken to reduce plastics?
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for your questions. So the first step I've taken is using cloth bags instead of using plastic bags. Secondly, using stainless steel straw. Like every delegate here, we are using stainless steel straw every time where we go. We refuse plastic straw because we don't realize that plastic straw is small and negligible, but it can't be recycled because of its weight. So we are using stainless steel and we are recommending each individual to use it. Thank you.
Can that kind of practice be, since you're in human resources, can it be integrated in companies or organizations? You go back to your country?
Of course, the company that I work, it's a telecommunication organization, namely Intel, and my company works so much for our environment. We do a lot of campaigns, cleanup. This is the reason why it has pushed me to participate in this pageant, because at work we do so much of things for our environment. We go paperless, which is very good, and also for our customers it's only e-bill. So you see, so this will promote me more in my job to go against plastic. Thank you.
Good afternoon or good,
Good
evening.
afternoon.
Has your government done or exercised any measures to make this awareness spread?
Yes, sir. So in Mauritius, we banned plastic in 2010. Okay, so we banned plastic for non-biodegradable plastics, and now we have biodegradable plastic. And before it was for free. When we were buying things, we were getting plastic for free. But now it's payable. So you see, and now we have biodegradable plastics in Mauritius, which is very good. And day by day, we will be reducing it. And I want to be a role model to decrease the use of plastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Mauritius. Next up, Miss Nigeria.
Madadangabi, good evening everyone. I am Maristela Okbala. I'm 25 years old. I study dental technology. I'm a licensed cabin crew member and also a professional model. My hobbies are traveling, dancing, and of course listening to music. I am part of a Nigerian Recyclers Association, and where I have my own little NGO where I encourage the less privileged ones to pick plastic waste pollution, pick plastic waste, and I pay them because in Nigeria it's more like nothing goes for nothing, which leads me to my unique advocacy, waste to wealth, by promoting circular economy and also creating more job opportunities for the youth. Thank you.
What is a major environmental issue being faced by Nigeria?
The major environmental issue we have is plastic waste pollution. It's terrible, and the problem is that they are not aware. They are not aware of the effects of this plastic pollution to our health and also to the environment, especially the class 2 plastic, the polyethylene, because the chemicals that they use to make this plastic, after a while it separates from this plastic, and when it ends in the ocean and the fishes feed on them, according to researchers, when we eat this fish, it can cause cancer also. So this is a major problem, and which is why I am sharing my voice by creating more awareness, trying to educate them on how to recycle this plastic pollution, because recycling is the best way. Since researchers are still trying to eradicate the use of plastic, let's use the disadvantages. We can recycle this plastic and also earn money through recycling them. Thank you.
So you mentioned that there is a recycling association in Nigeria. So these are different organizations.
Yes, we have the Nigeria Recyclers Association, and then there's this recycling plant which I work in, where I'm doing this. I go on the streets and get people, the less privileged ones that beg for money, I get them to pick plastic bottles. For example, if you pick 1,000 plastic bottles, I get to pay you like $20. And in Nigeria, they appreciate when they work for something. So through this way, I was able to get one of the influential people like my national directors, and we started making it big. For every 20,000 tons of plastic you pick, you can win a washing machine, air conditioners and stuff. And now I'm happy to tell you all that we have like 30 people that are working for us. So this is how I've been trying to tackle, and which is why I'm here today, to share my voice to the people that are listening to, that of course watching the live stream. And I thank Miss Ed organization because they made me to be aware myself, because I wasn't even aware at some point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Nigeria.
Thank you.
And now let's meet Miss Reunion Island. Also with her is our translator, Miss Chica Veneracion.
Hello, my name is Opa Alexia. I'm 18 years old and I come from Reunion Island. My advocacy is written to consume, produce and manage your waste. And now I speak French because my English is very bad. J'étudie la littérature.
I'm studying literature.
Et j'adore le sport. Je fais énormément de sport avec ma famille.
I love the sport and I do a lot of sports.
Surtout la randonnée.
Especially hiking.
Dans les cirques à La Réunion comme Mafad, Salazie et Silaos, qui sont inscrits au patrimoine mondial de l'UNESCO.
It's a part of the World Heritage, UNESCO World Heritage Cirque, which is several valleys together.
J'adore aussi aller à la plage avec toujours mes amis et ma famille.
Also like going to the beach with my family and my friends.
Et voilà.
Et voilà.
Hello, Reunion Island. Climate change scientists only gave us 20 years before the effects of climate change would become irreversible.
On nous donne 20 ans seulement pour que le change de climat, ce qui se passe, ne sera plus reversible, qu'on ne peut plus changer après, avec tous les effets de climate change.
Let me fast forward that. Let's say we were not given 10 or 20 years. Let's say you only have a year.
Disons, on n'a qu'un an pour faire quelque chose là-dessus.
To make an impact and make an effect and at least contribute to the lessening of climate change, what would you do?
Pour contribuer, pour faire quelque chose, pour que ça change cet effet de climate change, qu'est-ce que tu vas faire?
Alors je pense que nous devons réapprendre à consommer et à produire.
We should relearn how to consume and to produce.
Parce que notre manière de production
our way of producing right now
est vraiment très mauvaise. C'est-à-dire que nous actuellement nous utilisons une économie linéaire.
Because now we are using a linear economy.
C'est-à-dire d'extraire, de fabriquer, de consommer et ensuite de jeter.
To fabricate, to process, and then to consume, and then to throw.
Et je pense qu'il faudrait utiliser une économie circulaire.
And I think we should do a circular economy.
Qui est d'extraire, fabriquer, consommer et ensuite recycler.
So to fabricate, to produce, and then to recycle.
Ça va éviter la pollution.
It will avoid pollution.
Et ça va augmenter les emplois.
And it will increase employment.
Déjà?
Hands up. Thank you so much, Mr. Reunion Island and Ms. Chica Veneracion. And now let's have Miss Rwanda.
Hi to everyone. My name is Anastasia Mtonwese and I'm 19 years old. I'm the Miss Propriety Rwanda in my country, 2018, and I'm a farmer in my country. And I'm happy to represent my country, a beautiful country of the 1,000 years, Rwanda. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What is the greatest challenge Rwanda is facing today environmentally?
Environmentally? Yes. Thank you very much, and that is a very good question. And our country, Rwanda, is facing now the plastics mismanagement of the plastics wastes, but we are trying to overcome it, we are trying to solve it. So the mismanagement of the plastics is really a big challenge in our country because those plastics are really destroying the seas, our land, the soil, where it's difficult for the plants and the crops to grow because of those plastics. But we are trying to overcome it, where we are trying to recycle them, do recyclations, where now the plastics, 40% of the plastics that we are trying to make it to recycle them into new things. So that is the main challenge that we're facing in my country. Thank you. Yes.
In your opinion, what is Rwanda best known for?
I'm sorry?
What is Rwanda best known for in the world? What are you famous for? I mean, your country.
My country is known as the country which has faced with the problems of the genocide in 1994 genocide, but
That's
now
famous for.
yes, I mean the famous that how my country is
Will be known.
not will
There
be
may
known.
be places to visit, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So my country has a lot of beautiful places to visit. We have the Gorilla Mountain, we have the Volcano Mountains, we have a lot of lakes in my country. So, but the main thing before showing you or making you visit those places, we have to show you first to visit our genocide memorial site, to show you the real Rwanda, to show you our country where it has, what it has passed through before visiting the other places, in order to help you to understand more our country, how it has grown up, or how it has managed or tried to solve that problem. Thank you. Yes.
We discussed with previous candidates the importance of peace for the environment. So Rwanda experienced that process of conflict, and then.
Of course.
So how is the peace process now, and how is it affecting the environment?
So when you have peace in your country, and that is the first, if I may call it the tool, that all the things that we will help you to have the good environment. So peace, when you have the peace in your country, when all the people have the security, they will have the same mind, they will have the same mind.
Time is up. Thank you very much, Ms.
Okay.
Rwanda.
Thank you.
And now let's meet Ms. Sierra Leone.
Hello everybody, my name is Alman Sise. I'm 19 years old. I'm a first year student of the Applied Accounting at IPM. I am beautifully representing my country, Sierra Leone, and my advocacy is to ensure that our ocean is free from plastic waste by teaching the people what to do. Thank you.
Personally, what have you done to reduce plastic in our oceans?
First of all, I like to teach my people what to do by social medias, because that's what one thing right now is really trending social medias, going to radio stations and telling them what to do, what not to do, because they don't know how it affects us or our health, and that's what I do.
Would you say that in Sierra Leone today there's equal opportunity for men and women?
Yes, it's equal opportunity for everyone.
How widespread is social media, and of course you need the internet connectivity.
Yes,
so
yes.
is it just for young people, or is it for everybody?
No,
Or
it's for everybody. It's for everybody, because network in Sierra Leone, Africell and Airtel, and they are making the great opportunity so that the public can know what's happening, and because the water pollution affects our health a lot, especially malaria, because it kills a lot of people in our country.
I know that you attended an environmental seminar, I think a few weeks back. I'd just like to ask, what was your most impactful learning that you could bring home to Sierra Leone?
Yes, by tree planting. By the tree planting, like cutting down the trees is so not good, because it affects us in Sierra Leone last year, August 11, that causes a great mud flows that kill a lot of people and leaving most of them homeless. And I'll go back to my country and tell them to plant more trees so that it can help an environment and have a great Mother Earth.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Sierra Leone.
Thank you so much.
Now it's time for Miss South Africa.
very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Margot Fargo. I am 26 years of age. I have obtained my BSc Honours degree in Consumer Sciences in one of the best universities in the world, the University of the Free State. Interesting fact is that I only started wearing shoes at the age of 7, which makes me a free spirit. And my environmental advocacy is the fact that us as humans are the main consumers and destroyers of this planet. So Waste Stops With Me is a personal call to action to reduce and to sustain ourselves as humans and to make sure that we live a sustainable life, and it is up to us as individuals to make that impact and also to individualize the change that we want to see and to lessen our carbon footprint on this planet.
And Margot, you mentioned that you are studying consumer sciences?
I have obtained my honours degree already, yes.
That's an interesting course. Would you mind sharing to us what consumer science is?
So basically, consumer sciences is around the fact that everything that has to do with a person. Consumerism is everywhere, from the hospitality industry, and I specialized in sustainability. And the Miss Earth program actually made me and compelled me to go into sustainability, because that is key for where we are going as a generation and as the current generation. So it goes from packaging, from clothing, from the industry of entertainment as well. So it's a very broad degree, and you basically can do anything with it.
What do you think is South Africa's greatest contribution in helping curb the climate change?
I would say exactly what my advocacy is. Waste Stops With Me. We are very active with reducing the waste. We have professional pickers that pick up the plastic and sort it out, and in return that creates an economy and creates jobs for the people in our country. So from ocean cleanups, we are very active with doing that, because as we are consuming and as we are building the plastic and as we are trying to build that economy and the green economy, we are trying our best to do that and contributing to that and lowering our carbon footprint even in the business sector as well. So that is our contribution.
South Africa, Johannesburg, hosted the World Summit on Sustainable Development in 2002. So do you think we've gone very far from the commitments made in 2002 in terms of the implementation challenges around the world?
So, Mr. Francisco?
Yes.
I would definitely say that yes, we are a very progressive country and a progressive world. We can only measure our progress by going back and tracking back to our statistics. Unfortunately, I do not have those statistics, but from what I have seen, that different organizations and different businesses have been active to do so. So being conscious of that and also seeing the businesses around the whole fact that you want to individualize and create a green economy, I would say that we are a progressive economy and we are a progressive world and generation.
Very well said, Miss South Africa. Thank you very much. And to complete this batch, the last but definitely not the least, let's meet Miss Zambia.
Hi, my name is Margaret Kwani. I am 22 years old. I am an accountant and entrepreneur. I have a heart for the deaf people and troubled teenagers, and because of that, I serve as a youth leader in my home church. My advocacy is focused on wildlife and water conservation and preservation, specifically in the Luangwa region of Zambia. Thank you.
Hi Zambia, if you were to return to your country, what would be your most fondest memory of your Miss Earth experience?
My most fondest memory, it would have to be when we went to the province of Albay. We were in Legazpi, and we had a gala night to finish our eco tour there. I managed to interact with members of the deaf community, which I really was not expecting, and that was a really amazing experience. Just the way their faces lit up when I went to introduce myself in sign language. They were so excited, and I was able to spend the whole evening with them, which made me even more happier. So that's my fondest memory.
Not only that, Africa is actually rich in wildlife. You mentioned that your advocacy is the preservation of wildlife. What's the most pressing problem related to wildlife in your country, and what have you done to help curb it?
So currently there are two issues. There's a lot of illegal poaching, especially with elephants and rhinos. They really want to get their ivory through their tusks, as well as illegal game hunting. So we eat a lot of game meat. However, there's too much demand for game meat, and so there's a lot of illegal game hunting, which has really reduced excessively the number of wildlife, which is having a negative effect on our tourism as well as the ecosystem. What I'm currently doing is I'm spreading awareness through friends, families, and community by word of mouth, attending workshops, as well as using social media platforms to spread that message so that people may be able to report when they see suspicious activity of illegal poachers.
So this is very challenging for the country and for the government. What do you think is needed? Is there a need for bigger budget to protect our wildlife, given the enormous challenge? Because the poachers are, of course, heavily resourced. They have all financial. So what is your recommendation in this regard?
I believe my recommendation is to continue with publicity and awareness in most of the villages, because as much as there is publicity and awareness on TV, the people that have access to TV are just a small percentage. And so I would advise the government to take more steps into reaching the rural communities, because they're the ones that have more interactions with the wildlife. And so for them, they may not think that anything
Time
wrong
is
is
up.
happening.
Thank you very much, Ms.
Thank you
Zambia.
so much. Salamat po.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard the 87 delegates articulate their thoughts, and after watching the two previous rounds of prejudging, I am sure you have now finalized your choices as to who do you think shall make it to the first cut come Coronation Night at Miss Earth 2018 on November 3rd, 8 p.m. at the MOA Arena. Telecast live on Fox Light at 8 p.m. And of course, don't miss the Coronation Night on Saturday, November 3rd at the Mall of Asia Arena. Telecast live on Fox Live at 8 p.m. and will be streamed live on Miss Earth's official Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can also catch a delayed telecast on Sunday, November 4th, 10:30 p.m. on GMA 7. We'd like to thank the members of our panel of judges for sharing their time with us, and also to Diamond Hotel Philippines for hosting today's event. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat, and let's continue to do our share to help save and protect the earth. And let us put to use what we have learned from the advocacies and environmental messages of the 18 delegates of Miss Earth 2018. This is